Hello there, welcome to this session with me. In this session, I want to discuss what I title the ultimate entry formula to watch for. The ultimate entry formula to watch for in plain sight. So, I'm going to take my discussion from this session of the charts, starting from this bearish candle all the way down here. Now, this is what I will call the ultimate entry formula, stated as arrow 3 plus arrow 2 equal to E, or G3 plus 1 plus G2 equal to E. So what does that mean? Let me restate it again. Arrow 3 plus 1 plus arrow 2 equal to E, or G3 plus 1 plus G2 equal to E. So this formula has been developed from the representation of the impulse with either arrow 3 or G3 and the string with either G2 or arrow 2, while the break remains plus 1. Then E represents entry. So whenever you see any market setup on your chart in any time frame that gives you that formula, you are bound to take an entry from where you are expecting the next thing, which is after the string. So once you see arrow 3 or G3, in this case this was arrow 3 plus 1, this is 1, plus arrow 2, which is this string here, equal to E. This is E, entry candle. So you had an impulse, a break, a string, and an entry candle. So once you take your entry on the candle, you set your take profit for the time frame of entry, corresponding with the guide on entry exit planning. So that is what has happened here. Now, again, this is what you are going to see happen here. This is arrow 3, this is plus 1, and this is arrow 2. So what that means is that once this candle closes as a string, you should take a buy on the next candle. That can also be seen in another demonstration. Now, let's look at this different demonstration. This was arrow 3, this is not plus 1. Okay, this is rather arrow 3 G2. So it did not meet that. Let's go back, since this is the most recent. Let's go back and see. This was G3 plus 1. This did not meet G2. Okay, so that's also to be looked at. This is arrow 3 plus 1. This did not meet what? All right, so this is arrow 3 plus 1 and arrow 2. But in this context, if you took your entry here, because this later turned out to become another arrow 3, which can always happen here. But you always take a risk here on entering once you see the arrow 2. Okay, so let's measure that and see what happened. 2028.76 to 2029.76. If it did not get there, then this was a situation that resulted in loss for that. So let's look at another one, the ultimate entry formula. We'll first of all look for the arrow 3 and see if we see an arrow 2. So here was an arrow 3, this was plus 1, no arrow 2 here. This, okay, so we'll keep going back to see if we can find more of that. This was arrow 3, this was another G3, so there was no break. Then this was G3 and this was arrow 3, there was no break. Then this was arrow 3 plus 1 and this was it. So this met the condition. So arrow 3 plus 1 and arrow 2 equal to E. So this was your E, your entry candle. And you see this one went well into profit. So 2 over 1. Let's go back again and see. This was arrow 2. Okay, that did not meet. We have not seen any. Okay, this was arrow 3 plus 1. There was no arrow 2. Let's look again. This was arrow 3 plus or arrow 3 and G2. There was no arrow 2 and no break also. This was G3 and arrow 3. So that did not meet. This was arrow 3 and G3. This was arrow 3 plus 1, okay? And this was arrow 2. So which means that this was your entry candle E, because this met the condition, even though this entry candle closed bearish. But this was your entry candle again. And if you measure it, this is 3036 to 3232 to 2936. So it did not go to your stop loss, hence it went to your profit. So this was another one, 3 over 1. That's you have got 3 profit and 1 loss so far. So let's look again. This was arrow 3 G2. It did not give us that. This was arrow 3 G3. It did not give us that. Let's keep looking back. This was arrow 3 plus 1. This did not give us arrow 2. Then this was arrow 3 plus 1. This did not give us arrow 2 immediately. So let's look again. The ultimate entry formula. This was arrow 3 plus 1, arrow 2. So this met the condition. Arrow 3 plus 1, arrow 2, and this is your E entry candle. So again, this was another one that did not go into stop loss. It rather went into profit. So this is 4 win, 1 loss. Let's keep going. This was G3 plus 1. This did not give us G2. This was G3 and arrow 2. This did not meet the condition, and all the way down here. So this was the one that we took profit on. So let's look for that ultimate entry formula again. This was arrow 3, no plus 1 and arrow 2. Then coming down, this was arrow 3 plus 1, no arrow 2 to back it up. So let's look at that again. This was arrow 3 plus 1, no arrow 2 also to back it up. This was G3 plus 1, no G2 to back it up. This was also G3 plus no break. So this did not meet. This was arrow 3 plus 1, no arrow 2 to back it up. So we are going down. This was nothing. Okay, this was arrow 3 and arrow 2. So that did not meet. This was arrow 3 plus 1, no arrow 2 to back it up. Okay, so let's see again. This was arrow 3. Sorry, rather, this was G3 plus 1, no G2 to back it up again. G3 plus 1, no G2 to back it up. So we keep going backward to see until the end of the day. This was G3, arrow 3, no break, and arrow 2 to back it up. And all the way here, this was arrow 3 and G2. So this did not give us anything. And down here, this was arrow 3 and G3. So for the whole of today on this time frame, we have seen 4 entries that went into profit and 1 went into loss, following the ultimate entry formula of arrow 3 plus 1 plus arrow 2 equal to N3 or E, or G3 plus 1 plus G2 equal to N3 or E. So this means that you get a bearish signal when you have G3 plus break plus another G2. The next candle will be your sell candle. So if you have arrow 3 plus break, or that's plus 1, plus again arrow 2, the next candle will be your entry for a buy. So that is the ultimate entry formula, and this corresponds with every other thing. This simplifies when you are waiting for entry. Why that is the case, let me explain another factor for your entry. If that alone doesn't give you enough entries, let me explain another factor for your entries. So ordinarily, you take your entry on identifying the trend of the market. Once you identify the trend of the market in a higher time frame, you come to a lower time frame. First of all, try to find an entry on that same time frame. So let me give you a quick example on that. I'll start from the 4 hours time frame. And right here, the trend of the market has been bearish. Okay? So it means that you want to find a bearish entry on this time frame. So after seeing this first structure, but I have already given another rule which states that you measure the total move you have. If there is equal R03 and G3, then you know that there is a mixed trend. It's not a clear trend. So here we had we had R03, then we had G3, so it's not clear. So let's look at where we'll find it clear. We'll go to the 1 hour time frame. So let's take for the previous day, or let's still go back to the 4 hours time frame and take from the previous week. Then we'll know what we are looking for this week. Okay, so we had for the previous week, we had G3 1, R3 1 1, then R3 2, G3 2. So both of them are 2 2. Then G3 1. And so G3 was more, yeah, which means that we are looking for G3 entries here, or bullish entries here, not bearish entries. So that's because whatever we saw in the previous week is what we'll use for the new week. So once you know what you're looking for in the new week, you start looking for entry structures that give you what you are looking for. So which means I want to see just any arrow tool will find a buy. Any arrow tool we see will find a buy. That is what we'll be doing for your lower time frame. So now we just saw an arrow tool here. We are going to place a buy on this candle. Okay. Then when we see another arrow tool, we place a buy on the next candle. That's what we'll be doing. So when you go to the lower time frame, that is exactly the structure you'll be looking for on the lower time frame. So here, if this closes as an arrow tool, you take a buy on the next candle without using the ultimate entry structure or formula. Okay, you just find the trend of the market and then take your entry following the trend using your arrow tool plus one. So that plus one that would have formed in your arrow tool is where you take your entry. So that is the ultimate entry structure. We'll look at it on 15 minutes. We'll see how many places that give us an entry, starting from the previous one here. There was no arrow to, no entry given. So here, there was an entry given. So arrow 2 plus 1. So this plus 1 is your entry price. So 2877 all the way to 3054. So that was not a very decent one, but that was an entry given and the profit was very short. This was another one given, entry given, profit was very short. And right now, this was an entry given because you already have this structure here of an arrow 2 before it turned into an arrow 3. So this was an entry given. Okay, so this price will have to be marked. You'll see that in future, the market will respect it once it breaks above it, this very price, 2652. Okay, so why that entry went into an impulse, you want to first of all note that this was supposed to be your entry price because you are looking for bullish entries here. Okay, now if you check on the previous side, if on the you started from the 1 hour or 4 hours time frame, then went to the 1 hour time frame, whatever structure had a sort of greater majority is what you'll be trading in the next week. So a continuation rather. which means that if you had greater majority of G3, you'll be looking for buy entries. If you had greater majority of R3, you'll be looking for sell entries. So that is the other way to find your entries if you are not trading with the ultimate entry rule.